It's 2024, and after centuries of attempts, the wait is finally over. What lies beneath those churning waters isn't just any shipwreck, it's a treasure trove of unimaginable riches. Picture this: 200 tons of silver and emeralds, 11 million gold coins and porcelain pottery, all resting near the Colombian coast. With a staggering value of 17 billion, it's no wonder nations are locked in a heated battle for ownership. But who rightfully claims this treasure? Join us until the end of this video as we dive into the heart of the debate. From Colombia to Spain, the battle is going on about who deserves to acquire all this wealth that still rests at the bottom of the sea. On one hand, an American company claims that they were the first to discover the wreck in 1981, making them the rightful owners. And on the other hand, Colombia claims to have sole salvage rights since the wreck is located near their coast. These aren't the only ones fighting for this billion-dollar treasure. Spain also joins in, claiming the right to the shipwreck. To further complicate the issue, the native people of Bolivia, the Caracara, are also demanding their rightful share, claiming that the metals were first mined by their enslaved ancestors. However, who acquires the treasure is still a major dilemma. But let's take a step back and try to understand more about San Jose. To begin with, the San Jose galleon was a Spanish warship. It was a 150-foot long, 60-foot gun, 3-masted galleon ship, and 40 feet across the beam. It belonged to a convoy fleet called the Silver Fleet. It was also referred to as the West Indies Fleet or the Spanish Treasure Fleet. Just to give a little background, in the beginning of the 18th century, this ship traversed Spanish territories and used to bring riches from all around the world to the home of then-ruling King Philip, Duke of Anjou. The beginning of the end for the San Jose can be traced back to the death of King Charles II of Spain in 1700. With Charles II dying childless, the Spanish throne became a subject of contention. Two main claimants emerged, Charles of Austria and Philip of Anjou. This led to a succession crisis, as both contenders declared themselves the rightful ruler of Spain. King Louis XIV, however, backed Philip of Anjou, considering he was his grandson and thereby technically held the throne. Philip of Anjou was also backed by France. While it might come across as good news, it wasn't, as this rooted idea of possible unification of Spain and France. As a result, neighboring European countries felt threatened and feared unification and created an alliance, including the Holy Roman Empire, the Dutch Republic and the Great Britain, to back Charles of Austria. Now, coming back to how San Jose met with tragedy, it was purely because of this conflict. During this, a Spanish fleet containing the San Jose ship was attacked by a British squadron of 4 ships. The ship was important for the king due to the treasures it brings home. The riches could have helped the contested King Philip fund the war which the British opposed. So on the night of June 1708, Charles Wager, a British commander, changed the whole dynamic by attacking the Spanish fleet near Cartagena, Colombia. San Jose's sister ship, San Joaquin, was the first to engage in the fight with one of the British ships named Kingston. After battling for about 2 hours, the San Joaquin managed to escape without surrendering its bounty. That was a victory for sure, but unlike San Joaquin, San Jose succumbed to a different fate. San Jose was not an easy takedown. To simply put, the commander had to engage his largest warship, the expedition, head-to-head to take down San Jose. The fight with cannon fire went on for about an hour until finally the ship was destroyed. That wasn't the plan, but unfortunately something set San Jose aflame. The British expected to board the decks of San Jose by force, but the explosion incident did not allow them to do so. It was truly devastating, and even till date, it is unclear how the ship catches the fire. Around 600 members lost their lives, and only 11 were believed to survive the tragedy. Talking about the other aspect, money, the ship went down with pesos, gold coins, and emeralds. This tells us why it was largely known as the Holy Grail of shipwrecks. The British couldn't get their hands on the treasures contained in the San Jose ship. The 3 master galleons had tons of silver and emeralds, along with 11 million gold coins. This is a huge number back then, and even now, the ship also had an intact Chinese dinner service and porcelain pottery. The official statement from Colombia's National Legal Defense Agency said that San Jose's ship must have had $17 billion of riches aboard. While San Joaquin escaped, the British, as a result, court-martialed the captains of the Kingston and another British ship, the Portland, for allowing such escape of the ship. Moving on, the details of the location of San Jose's ship remained a mystery for a long time. It was in 2015 when the mystery was finally put to an end when the Colombian Caribbean coast mentioned the ship's location was near Cartagena, a port city on Colombia's Caribbean coast. 2015, as mentioned, was fruitful as it shed light on the ship's location in the deep waters, but along with it accompanied the conflict. So let's dive into the reasons why different countries are fighting over San Jose and are claiming it belongs to them. First of all, Colombia. Colombia claims that since the wreck lies within Colombia's territorial waters, it has rights over the San Jose and its treasures. They have said this, citing the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Then you have Spain. The Spanish government argues that the ship was part of the Spanish Royal Navy. Spain claims that they rightly own the treasure on board and it's part of its cultural heritage. Apart from Colombia and Spain, there is also Bolivia. From understanding the background of the ship, we can say that Bolivia is not directly involved in the shipwreck dispute, but Bolivia's connection lies in the fact that much of San Jose's ship treasure originated from the Potosi silver mines in Bolivia during Spanish colonial rule. Based on this, Bolivia states that it has a moral right to a portion of the recovered treasure. Lastly, there are indigenous communities in Colombia and Bolivia who also joined the battle for ownership of treasure. They argue that the treasure should be given back to them as their ancestors were often forced to work in the mines and suffered greatly under colonial rule. At present, Colombia plans to invest over $1 million in the recovery process of this sunken treasure. The extraction of items from the surface of the galleon will provide crucial insights into their condition and help Colombia in their recovery of the rest of the treasures. The extraction process will focus on items such as ceramics, wood pieces and shells, indicating the historical and archaeological significance of the sunken treasure. As far as who has the upper hand, Colombia and the American salvage company seem to be the only strong contenders in the ongoing arbitration case in London. The recovery process is set to begin next month, and by this we can say that Colombia is on the front run. What's even more interesting is that Colombia is trying to keep the exact location of the ship discreet from others to have an upper hand. Colombia promised to build a museum to exhibit this treasure, and now that it has taken the first step, it won't be long till the museum construction. Coming back to San Jose recovery plan, the recent update is that Colombia plans to send a robot to retrieve these. Korea stated, "We plan to send a robot to extract some items from the surface of the galleon to see how they materialize when they come out of the water and to understand what we can do to recover the rest of the treasures. But this extraction comes with a cost, and it is to be done carefully considering the 316-year-old wreckage is situated at a depth of 600 meters. And on top of that, the robot will have to remove items such as ceramics, pieces of wood and shells without damaging or even causing any modification to the wreck. The operation will cost more than $4.5 million. Now, as to who has the rights over this will be a game changer. In 1981, a US salvage company, Sea Search Armada, claimed they discovered the location of the San Jose. When they attempted to take legal ownership against Colombia for the recovery of the ship, the US court ruled out, saying the galleon was the property of the Colombian state. However, whoever may get, they shall not in any way auction the treasure. This happened in 2018 when the Colombian government attempted to auction some of San Jose's artifacts to fund the recovery costs. Thereby, the United Nations Cultural Agency had to intervene and said, allowing the commercial exploitation of Colombia's cultural heritage goes against the best scientific standards and international ethical principles as laid down, especially in the UNESCO Underwater Cultural Heritage Convention. So, after this setback, it's still unclear how Colombia will be able to cover the cost and if they are even able to continue the full process. That's all for this video. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Let us know who shall acquire it in the comment section below.